the culture of collectivism. That is dangerous. And so what we need to understand, first of all, is collectivism is not this noble and innocent concept of people depending on each other and all getting on. That's a very nice definition. In reality, collectivism is something that allows some people to live off the sweat of other people's brows.
Right.
And so here, you know, we ask that question right at the beginning: is collectivism good or bad? Well, why don't you figure out for yourself? Let's take a look and see what collectivism and materialism tends to engender. And here, and I know that you're going to think I'm off my game here a little bit, Glenn, because I'm suggesting that the opposite of collectivism and materialism is actually making money. I don't want to call it capitalism. I don't want to call it any highfalutin philosophical name. I want to talk about it in very hardcore specific terms that can impact the lives of every single one of us. This is not, well, why don't we take a look at it? Okay. The world of collectivism and materialism tends to create competition for victimhood. Right, from each according to his needs, to each according to his needs, from each according to his means. And so the more you need, the more you're going to get in the system. And so everybody competes to be a victim.
That's why we have this culture of victimhood now.
Well, obviously, it's watch where the money flows.
Got it.
And meanwhile, making money, that way of life, again, and I'm not saying that's the most important way of life. I'm just saying that let's just call it the opposite. Yeah. I'm calling it the opposite. This also includes family life. It includes church life. It includes charity. I'll come to that. But right now, if materialism and collectivism encourages competition about being a bigger victim, what does this philosophy engender? Competition to provide service. How beautiful is that? It's figuring out and recognizing that you will succeed best at making money if you are obsessively preoccupied with supplying the needs of your fellow human beings.
That is the best explanation of capitalism I've ever heard.
That's what it is.
Because that's what it is.
No, it's exactly what it is.
I mean, Steve Jobs and Apple, look how they have changed so many people's lives.
That's right.
And they'll go out of business the minute somebody else figures out a way to make my life easier.
Or they get lazy and stop obsessing about what can make life better for us.
It is the ultimate
service. You said earlier, you know, you don't have to believe in God as long as you do the right. Yeah, I'm not saying Bill Gates and Steve Jobs love Daniel Lapin.
Right.
I don't think they know about me. In fact, I know they don't.
Right.
It doesn't matter. They made my life better. When they made it possible for me to have a computer and a phone and all kinds of great tech gadgets, they made my life better. They deserve every bit of success they got because the money they make is testament to how many of God's children they pleased. And so to the extent that materialism and collectivism encourages everybody to be a victim, the making money philosophy, and you'll see, I mean, I'm trying to get everybody comfortable with this idea. You don't have to be embarrassed about wanting to make money, because when you make money, you are delivering more to the world around you than you're getting.
Unless you're a criminal-minded person.
And as long as you are not defrauding or holding up the convenience store or robbing a little old lady of her pocketbook. But if you are engaging in the miracle of God's model of human economic interaction, where you're exchanging voluntarily without government interference in that process, you are delivering more than you're getting. Okay. So I'm competing to try and serve my other human brothers and sisters better than I did yesterday. That's what that does. Now,
okay, hang on. Got to take a quick break. Back in a minute.
Materialism on the one hand, and making money on the other. Collectivism material stimulates envy. I'm looking at what other people have got. Does the phrase "the 1% suggest anything?
Right, envy.
That's what it does. The making money philosophy says stimulates success and achievement. It's what I want to do.
Good.
What's better for me if everyone else wanders around filled with envy or filled with their own desire to achieve success? The next thing, ambition. What is your ambition if you believe in this? Your ambition is to become a community organizer or a politician.
To grab the victims and pool them all together.
That's exactly right. Pardon the euphemism. Public service.
Right.
Right. That just means somebody else's hand in my pocket.
Right.
So collectivism, it encourages people to be community activists or politicians. This approach gives people the ambition to achieve riches and respectability. What's better for me? If somebody's out there trying to figure out a way to take more money away from me, or somebody's out there trying to find ways to make my life better by achieving riches and respectability.
Excellent.
It's not a question at all. The greatest virtue in collectivism, in this vote, the greatest virtue they can come up, equality. Nothing is more important than equality. For us, the greatest virtue is freedom. You can't have both. You've got to make up your mind. And then finally, the result of this is a static condition of equal poverty. On this side, the result is dynamic growth.
Okay, here's the problem. The left will try to convince you that this system replaces this. The greatest virtue is wealth, is money.
And so the answer is that creating money is not a bad thing. In other words,
unless it is your driving force.
Exactly. The love of money is different, but that's why the focus, and I'll finish off with that in a moment, but the focus is serving other people, not, okay, so what can everybody do? I'll tell you what everybody should be focused on. If you believe in what we're discussing, people, I know this is going to sound funny, but I've written extensively on this, I've lectured extensively on this, this is straight out of the Bible. Focus on making money. Why? Well, first of all, people listen to folks with money. Do you remember that anti-Semitic song, If I Was a Rich Man, from Fiddler on the Roof? Mm-hmm. I say it's anti-Semitic because we'd never sing If I Was a Rich Man. We sing When I'll Be a Rich Man. But listen to a little piece of that.
Okay.
And it won't make one bit of difference if I answer right or wrong. When you're rich, they think you really know.
True.
Okay, that is Book of Proverbs, chapter 14, verse 24. Wealth is a crown on the heads of the wise. All I'm saying is, if you want to influence society, you want to change the minds of the people around you, I promise you, you will have more credibility and they will listen to you better if you have a few dollars in your pocket. That's how the world really works. You can really impact society if you make a few dollars. Number two, in making those dollars, you're improving the world for everyone around you. The only way you made those dollars is you served other human beings. I don't know what you did, but I know you made somebody happy. It might have been a customer or a client, I don't know. But by making money, you did good for all of us. And number three, if you make money, you can actually give meaningful charity. That's pretty good too.
Okay, so they will say, again, they will say that, and I guess it comes back to the cattle, that the cattle just aren't good. People will not do good things with their money.
Okay, they don't want us to follow. They hate what I'm saying because it makes you independent. You don't need Obamacare if you've made a few dollars. You can go to a private doctor and just get whatever you want. If you've made a few dollars, you don't have to take public transport. You can jump in your car, drive where you like, when you like, and you can even have your car in any color you like. People might say, well, how do I do this? You know, it's all very well. I think there are 3 points we've got to try and wrap up with. Number one is you've got to change your belief system. You've got to start learning how to believe in the dignity, morality, and virtue of making money. Nobody succeeds at something they consider deep down to be morally reprehensible. This is a massive hurdle for people to overcome. Love of money, not good. Love of serving other people, wonderful. Money flows as a result. Number two, extend your connections. Meet lots and lots of new people. Forge new friendships. That's part of what the entire scripture is about. That's why every verse, virtually every verse in scripture begins with the word and. Everything's connected. Everything is a story of relationships. Relate to many people. And number three, don't focus on the money. That's all about the love of money. Focus on a desire to serve God's other children.
That's fantastic. You should do this for a living. I'm just saying. That's what we're here for. Serving, giving Him the opportunity to serve God's children. That's it. It's the way we roll. Rabbi Lapin, thank you.
Thank you so much.
By the way, this is all in this one.
And